Warning, there are profanity, topics, and other opinions that could offend you. Please watch and or listen at your own risk, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, what's up? It's RDiK here, or Old School Duelist 12, whatever you guys want to call me. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Voidcast. Now, for you Audible listeners, the episode probably came a little late. By late, I'm probably like an hour or two. Or a few hours. Anyways, moving on. So, this week on the podcast, we're going to talk about VR, because Nintendo Labo VR kit came out, and yeah, it seems interesting, so I want to talk about that, as well as just VR in general. We're also going to talk about the Gaming Intel Nintendo Direct debacle, and then we're going to do a little bit something different. We're going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there were some new rules that changed, as well as I wanted to just talk a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to get some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff out of the way. So if you're excited for all that and more, stay tuned. So with this episode being a tad late for the Audible listeners, I apologize. I apologize. I had a somewhat busy weekend, and I recorded on Friday, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the episode, so I wanted to re-record it. Like, I just said stuff, and it was like, it didn't resonate with me, so I just didn't like it, so I felt like re-recording it. So, moving on. So, the first thing we're going to talk about the Gaming Intel Nintendo Direct debacle that happened. It was... I don't know how to feel about it. So, like, what happened was there's a company, they're like a gaming, it's like a gaming news company type of thing, and they go by Gaming Intel. They put out an article, just saying that, Nintendo's going to get a Nintendo Direct April 11th. Well, obviously, that didn't happen, or else the name of this episode would be totally different. So, yeah, that didn't happen, and, like, the thing with Gaming Intel is they are one of those companies that just kind of, any Nintendo articles or rumors, any Nintendo rumors or gaming rumors in general, they kind of just put out there just to, more than likely just to say that they have, like, they're like, yeah, we said it, we got credibility, and then they're wrong, and they kind of just, like, disappear and, like, it's never fucking happened. So it's kind of annoying, to, like, companies that do that. It just really bothers me. Especially the fact that they put a actual date on it. It'd be one thing if they said, could Nintendo have a Direct in April? Like, that would make a lot more sense, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that much of a big deal. But they straight up said that they're just like, yeah, we got a source, and it says April 11th. So, have fun with that. And they tried to, like, say they had credibility because of the Nintendo Direct last year. That was, not canceled, but it was just delayed because of that. I think it was an earthquake or something like that. Either way, it was delayed due to a natural disaster, and they were just basically just claiming that as, like, their credibility. I mean, like, when I looked at it, I think it said something about, like, having, like, some other stuff that they guessed right, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, they don't seem that reliable to me. Like, there is plenty of other people who are pretty reliable, and, like, they have a shit ton of credibility, King Zell being one of them, and there's another chick, I can't remember her name. I tried to look her up, I legit cannot look her up. But yeah, like, those two people are two people when it comes to mind of, like, individuals who have rumor credibility, as well, like, they've been right so many times, as well as, what's the YouTuber name? Duncan, I think that's his name. Yeah, some Duncan. I don't know. He's a PokeTuber. He does a lot of, like, Pokemon stuff and just other news stuff or, like, Nintendo stuff in general. Like, they're people that, that have credibility. They got quite a few things right. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that there's companies out there that try to, be as credible as possible and say whatever they want. I wouldn't say whatever they want, but try to get as much recognition as they could. And then stupid stunts like this happen where they're just like, yeah, from our source, we got a Nintendo Direct on April 11th. Because it's like it's one thing to say, it's from my source, I've heard that there's a rumored Nintendo Direct because in April, because then that doesn't flat out tell you, like, that doesn't flat out say, like, I'm putting a bunch of money on it. It's just more so like, it's a rumor. That's really what it is. Like, you're just spreading a rumor that says April there's going to be a Nintendo Direct. Now, could there be a Nintendo Direct in April? Yeah, April seems the most likely to have a Nintendo Direct between the last one, which is at the end of February. Was it? No, it was like mid-February. And E3, because E3 is in June. Let me check my calendar. Because like between E3 and the previous Nintendo Direct, April, like mid to late April, does seem like a pretty viable one. Because I mean, if they have one in May, it's to I don't know. If there is going to be one in May, it would have to be early as fuck May. Because they have another Nintendo Direct coming in, at E3. And E3 is June 11th through the 13th. So, yeah, it's May. April just seems like if there's going to be another Nintendo Direct, April does seem like it's the most legit month. That makes a lot of sense, and it's not like too crazy or like, because there is some things that we do kind of need answers to that were announced in the last Direct. Like we got the Mario Maker 2 that just said June 2019, which Mario Maker probably will be their big summer title, which makes a lot of sense. Like it's June. It says it's in June. There's some things for Astral Chain that we still don't know about, which that would be nice. Granted, it's a new IP, so it does seem like something they would maybe talk about at E3. But it's also likely that they just show some gameplay or like show off like maybe they show like gameplay of like the main mechanic, but they don't really talk about it. They just kind of say, let's have another gameplay, or they have a gameplay trailer where it shows a lot more of the graphics, or it shows a lot more of the gameplay, shows what the looks of just the game in general. Maybe give us an actual title. I think we actually got a title. I think we got a title, but give us an official, like, just show us an official title, stuff like that, graphics, what a cutscene might look like, different things like that. There's other stuff that we still don't know about, like Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 3. We need some more information about Pokemon, which Pokemon is, its own thing, which I'll get into in a little bit later. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that we just don't know about. So a little bit of information would be nice, or at least like just some confirmed dates. It doesn't even have to be a full Nintendo Direct. It could be a mini Direct, just to give us a couple of answers on stuff. Maybe talk about the SNES games that were, showed in the code for the Nintendo Online. Animal Crossing, give us a date for Mario Maker 2, so that we know, so that we don't have to wait for, some stupid Twitter announcement, because I'm gonna be honest, Twitter announcements are fucking stupid as hell to me. Like, it's nice, because I could get, like, some stupid little things out of the way, like an announcement for a date out of the way that's really not that important of a game, where it deserves a Nintendo Direct spotlight, or like if it was a Nintendo Direct, you'd be like, oh, that's cool, but if it wasn't, you wouldn't be like, man, where's X game? That's just like made by, like, I'm not saying third-party companies are not relevant, but like there's some, like maybe a port or something like that a third-party company is porting over to the Switch. If it's like a game that's really not, like, that wasn't all that popular, literally it's just kind of like, hey, now you can play this on the Switch type of game, I wouldn't make a big deal. Like, what was it, Dragon's Dogma? I don't think it was in the February Direct. But like that's one of those games where it's just kind of like, to me, and I guarantee 99% of the Nintendo Switch fan base, they weren't like, well, where's Dragon's Dogma? So it's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I could have dealt without that. Oh, to talk about the Pokemon stuff, I'm just gonna touch on that real quick. We would like the game comes out. Again, that's another thing. We don't have a date. We don't have a date. It just says late 2019. That's something I feel like really needs a date. Especially, most of the time it does come out in November. So waiting for an E3 Direct, for a date does seem kind of annoying. Because we're not that far from like November, because it's as of recording this, it's April 14th. So May, June. I'm sorry. Well, I'm just not like I just told this wrong. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's less than 7 months away, like 6.5 roughly. But still, it's like it's not that far away. That's like half a year. It's a little bit over half a year away. And, maybe maybe for some people that's still kind of far away. But in all reality, 6 months is really not that, like, that's going to come up fairly fast. Like, we're already we're already a third of the way through the year. That's fucking insane to me. And it's crazy. Like there's just some games where a date would be nice. So like I said, Pokemon, on Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing, Zelda. They did say late 2019 as well for that. But again, how late? Like those are 4 big games that a date would be extremely nice. 5 if you include Mario Maker. Those are 5 games that just need dates. They hardcore need dates. So it would just be nice, maybe a mini direct. Maybe not address all of them, but address, the ones that are coming up close, like Mario Maker 2. That is a game, June 2019. I'm sorry, June is 2 months away. Month and a half, 2 months away, so we kind of need a date for Mario Maker 2. Give me 2 seconds. My door was open, and I didn't want any, like, background noise or anything like that. Like, literally, just as I shut my door, I heard my dad. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, Mario Maker 2, that is a month and a half, 2 months away. As, according to the Direct, when they said June 2019. So, a date, we need a fucking date for that game, like, drastically. And I guarantee either Animal Crossing or Luigi's Mansion 2 is not too far away. I still feel like Luigi's Mansion is definitely like an October game, but again, you're really pushing it when it comes to Pokemon, because November has normally been for the past three or four titles, for the past 4 titles, I want to say. Yeah, this is Pokemon Sun and Moon. Let's go. I'm gonna just look that up real quick. Pokemon release dates. Let's see, video game series. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I thought I had a sneeze. Okay, so the timeline, release dates, it's not fucking telling me. That's cool. It's honestly a lot of work to look. Is that giving me actual dates? Okay, yes. Okay, so the last 4 games. Let's scroll all the way down real quick. That's the Ranger series, Mystery Dungeon series, Pinball series, Trading Card Game series, Pokemon Stadium. Okay, yeah, so there we go. So, Pokemon Let's Go was November. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was November. Sun and Moon was November. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was November. X and Y was October. But I mean, it's, that's still, I find it close enough. But yeah, no, the last 4 Pokemon games, were released in November. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sword and Shield was a November release date. Again, we haven't gotten an official release date for those games, but if you're going to save Mario or Luigi's Mansion 3 as an October release date because of Halloween, that's cutting it extremely close as being an official Nintendo title. Now, yes, you can argue, I think, what was it? it was Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate. Yeah, Monster Hunter. Oops, wrong one. Generation Ultimate. Release date. The release date for that was, that's Generation. I want Generation Ultimate. The fuck, man. The release date, I think it said August 28th. That's what it said it was. Yeah, the release date was August 28th. That's not that bad. For some reason, I thought like that was like October release date. I guess I was wrong. But anyways, releasing a game, an official Nintendo game, in October is cutting it at extremely close to Pokemon, and it will definitely, like Luigi's Mansion would basically be a filler up until Pokemon, and then as soon as Pokemon is released, no one's gonna give a fuck about any other games coming out on the Switch. As soon as a release date for anything, I say anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks prior to Pokemon, no one's gonna give a shit about, because the people that can only buy like so many games a year, won't, they'll just wait. They'll just wait whatever time, even if it's a game or a series that they like they enjoy. Like if Luigi's Mansion came out, say end of October, or even early October for me, I more than likely won't buy it. Only because I'll probably be trying to play the shit out of Pokemon and preparing to swap everything over in whatever way it's possible. I don't know what the way would be for the transfer, but I would prep it just in case. Like, I'd have all my competitive Pokemon ready to go to be transferred over, so I can start building those Pokemon, like my Incineroar and everything like that, Dialga and all that. Just to be ready, just so as soon as I can swap them over, boom, I'm hatching eggs. I'm making perfect IV Pokemon, which I've been fucking working on, like fucking Glalie, so I can use Explosion. Oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass, because I got a fucking shiny. I hatched a shiny Snorunt. I was so happy. It was like 2 eggs in, I was like going for the IVs, and I was like, you know what? And then like 2 eggs in, the stats like were terrible. And then I was like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna have to hyper train the shit out of this thing and give it the stats it needs. Anyway, sorry, I totally got hype about that. But yeah, no, Nintendo is playing a very close game right now of release dates, of needing release dates for games. There's some games that probably we could wait till a Nintendo E3, like Animal Crossing or Luigi's Mansion or possibly Pokemon. But again, Pokemon being as big as the game is, the sooner a date, the better. Mario Maker 2, we need a fucking date for that game, because again, it comes out, they said June 2019, so they either need to do a Twitter announcement for that game, or they just need to have a Nintendo Direct Mini. And then the final thing pertaining to a Nintendo Direct is Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers Ultimate, they have a 3.0 update that comes out later this month in April. So, in some information on, say, Persona, if there's going to be any buffs or debuffs of any characters for balancing issues, and as well as just a little more information on like what new modes are coming in. Yes, we already know Home Run and the builds, or the stage creator, those are coming back into the game. But a little information on like what can we do with the creator stage, like what would be the point of that? Is there a competitive online scene going to be for the home run contest? Like, can you have a tournament or whatever on there and try to break people's records? Like, have a little group party, do some home run contests on online. That'd be kind of cool. So just an April Nintendo Direct would be nice, and the fact that Gaming Intel kind of put it out there, hyped up a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people were still very skeptical, and no one's probably ever going to trust Gaming Intel again, just for the shit. And if they are ever right, it's just going to be like, you guys got lucky, type of situation. So I'm sorry, Gaming Intel, you fucked up. Moving on, before we jump on to the next topic, I'm going to do a quick shout out to audioboom.com. Audioboom.com, they are not the sponsor, but I still want to give them a huge shout out because they're an amazing company. I use them. They're amazing. That's how I get my podcast out on an audio basis to other platforms, i.e. iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify, as well as so many other platforms, because I have access. I can upload to TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, basically anywhere that a podcast can go up to, right from audioboom.com. I pay the low tier of $10 a month, and they give me the tools to upload to their website, as well as so many others as I previously named. They're an amazing website, and if you want to start your own podcast, you could definitely sign up for audioboom.com. So Audioboom, if you really want to sponsor me, that'd be really fucking cool. So yeah, because I shill you guys out a lot for free. Anyways, moving on. Next we're going to talk about VR. So Nintendo put out their Labo kit, the Nintendo Labo kit that is VR. From reviews, I don't have one. I want to give it a try because it looks cool. I love VR. If you listen to some of my other episodes of the podcast, then you would see that I love fucking VR, and I'm such a big advocate for VR. I want to try the Nintendo. I love my Switch. My Switch is probably my favorite console that I own. I definitely play the living shit out of that thing. Probably while I'm waiting for the episode to render, I'm probably going to play some Monster Hunter. Anyways, so I play the shit out of my Switch. So the fact that they have a version of VR on the Switch, that's amazing. From the reviews, everyone's saying it's extremely close to 1-to-1. So that's fucking amazing. The games, they look fun. All the games look fun. They look like they have quite a bit of replayability. Not a ton, but they look like they have some replayability, and replay value on VR games is very much needed. They actually, between the main games that you have to play with the different Toy-Con sets, there is also mini games which give you a bonus of maybe 20 to 30 minutes per game, and there is a lot of them. As well as you can build your own VR game within the game, so that's cool, but there's no way to share it, and that's kind of shitty. Maybe in a later update, maybe they'll add it to where you can play other people's games, but the fact of that is, unless you actually have a group of friends that always get together, say once a month or once a week or every other week, if you have a group of friends that get together to play video games, doing it and learning how to do it is kind of pointless, just for the fact of, you can't share it, and that kind of really, really sucks, and it kind of puts a burner in it. So yeah, but no, it looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. I really, really want to try it. The Elephant and the Blaster, those are the two games, those are the two Toy-Cons that I really, really want to get to. I really want to try the Blaster game. It looks extremely fun. And the fact that the Elephant you can paint, and there is like a mini game series that you can do with the Elephant, where you get a ball to something, or you can move stuff around for a puzzle. That's pretty cool. But the paint art studio type deal that you do with the Elephant, that's really cool, and I really, really want to try that. I'm not a good artist, but I still want to give it a big try. Excuse me. The even cooler thing that for younger people that are the younger age kids people, if you don't want your Switch being held up to your face or them possible chance of damaging it, there is a way to do it in 2D basically, where you put your Switch in the Toy-Con setup, and you don't have to hold it to your face, and you're still playing it that way with the motion controls. So that's really fucking cool. So yes, and there's that. And the best part, to me, the coolest thing, and the part that just blows my mind so much, is the fact that this is all fucking cardboard. This amazing VR setup is cardboard. That just blows my mind. You spend time building it, but still, it's cardboard. That's just so fucking cool to me. That Nintendo is one of the only companies I feel, besides the Google Cardboard VR, but let's be real, that's not all that cool. The fact that Nintendo is one of the only companies that will charge you a ridiculous amount of money for cardboard. I mean, gaming things. I mean, all the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and all their like Pokemon type card games, they're charging a ridiculous amount of money for cards or for pieces of cardboard. Anyways, for technology-based games, video games, they're the only company that could charge you a ridiculous amount of money for cardboard. Now, comparing it to like say Samsung VR or the Oculus Go, I personally, and this is just me, I still feel like the Oculus Go or the Samsung VR is probably better, but a good entry to VR is probably the Switch VR, and I only say that because of price. Take Oculus Go. Yes, Oculus Go is a $200 VR headset, and it's all built within the headset, and you got your one controller. And you could move up and down, and it's got the 360 view. The only complaint about that is it's not as powerful as, say, a Switch or the Samsung VR, surprisingly. It's all built within house. There's no modding, or I mean, you probably could rip it open and start modding it. But yeah, there's not really too much hardware-wise that makes it's still very immersible. It's still really amazing. But again, the Oculus Go is just not that powerful of a machine. Surprisingly, their Samsung VR is a lot powerful. You have expandable memory, so that's pretty fucking cool. But comes with an expensive price tag. You could probably get an older version of the Samsung VR and spend around maybe $200, or $200 to $250 roughly. But again, you won't have the best quality. You can get but if you want to do the upgraded version, you're probably going to spend around anywhere from, let's say, $800 to possibly $1,000, because you have to buy the expensive ass phone, plus the new headset that allows you to do USB-C, and that's $130. I got lucky. I got my VR helmet for $50 because I found it on sale at Amazon, and it was like around, it wasn't around Christmas time. I think it was like around Black Friday, I think. But yeah, I got extremely lucky. I found it refurbished for $50, and I was like, fuck yeah. And it's an amazing piece of tech. I fucking love it. The next, like, maybe, affordable one would have to be the the PS4. I don't know how well it works with a regular PS4 or you need a PS4 Pro, but either way, it is probably your next affordable one if you don't own a Switch, because a lot of people own a PS4 and not a Switch. So yeah, you could do that. But yeah, with the Nintendo Switch, it is probably the most reasonably priced one, and probably the cheapest route for an amazing experience. So that just blows my fucking mind. So that's really fucking cool. Yeah, just VR is just an amazing thing. I really feel like everyone should take the time and take the chance they can to get a good VR experience. Nintendo Switch, the Samsung VR, PlayStation 4 VR, or if you have a friend or can't afford it, the good, high-quality, expensive VR where you need a fucking bomb-ass computer and then spend the crazy amount of money on a Vive or an Oculus Rift. Like I said, it's amazing. I love it. I love VR. Oh, VR is so fucking amazing. I would shit my pants for VR. If I could honestly afford a Vive, an Oculus Rift, and the computer to support it, then I fucking would. But I can't, so I don't do it. So I'm happy with my Samsung VR. It's still tons of fun. I still get hours of playtime out of it. It's fun. I love it. Anyways, moving on from VR, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Yu-Gi-Oh! So, as you guys know, this channel, or the YouTube channel, also does a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. I'm actually preparing a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Content to upload, to have, like, just upload all at once. So once all that's ready, trust me, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you know when the videos go up. Because there are some pretty good videos that I'm putting out there. A lot of informational videos and stuff like that. So one thing I wanted to talk, two things I wanted to talk about. Wanted to talk about the new rules, and I wanted to talk about the 2019 tins. So the 2019 tins are probably the best tins that are going to be out. We had a lot of amazing cards coming out in that tin, from just the amazing sets that came out this year. A lot of danger support, or a lot of danger cards. We got what is it? We got impermanence that's more than, no, impermanence is going to be, permanence just got a reprint, and I think it's getting another reprint. I can't remember exactly. But anyways, we got a lot of support going into those tins, as well as we have some, 3 new cards that have never been anywhere else. They're going to be specifically for those tins, and the effects that they gave a vague description of what the effects are going to be, and they just sound like amazing cards that are just going to fucking blow anybody's fucking mind. And it's original art from the creator of the game. No, not Pegasus, but just amazing art. Just if you go back and look at some of the old original cards, you look at that art and you're just like, yo, this is cool. Like, that was, at the time of it coming out, it was even more mind-blowing, but if you go back and look at it, you're just like, dude, this is dope. This is cool. This is what the show is about. So it's awesome to me. It's just really fucking awesome. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited. Plus the tins, they look like the gold sarcophagus. I think it's called the gold sarcophagus megatin or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it looks better. It just looks like the card gold sarcophagus. It probably holds the cards a lot fucking better than like the previous tins, and yeah, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited for it. Another thing I want to talk about is they did a rule update, and this was something that I was like, why? Why is this a rule? So there's a couple things, a couple rule changes that just make me angry. Well, there's one that makes me extremely angry, and the other new rule is like, what the fuck? Like, this had to be a rule. So the first rule change that made me angry is, so for a brief description for like the people that don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That are still listening, so like, whenever you play a card that makes you have to pull a card out of your hand, if you can, you can say, yeah, I don't have a target, like I don't have, like, there's no way I can pull a card out of my hand for that effect. Like, there's a card called Mind Crush. This is the best way to explain it. There's a card called Mind Crush, and when you activate it, you declare a card name, and the card name, once you declare it, your opponent has to discard any copies of it, and, they go to the graveyard. The graveyard just used up cards. And if, the old ruling was, if you you said, yeah, I don't have that card in my hand, you had to reveal your hand and, basically prove that you don't have that card. Well, in the new ruling, unless you have physical proof that your opponent would have the card in their hand, your opponent no longer has to say they don't have it. And that's just stupid. That's a stupid ruling. It is legit a stupid ruling, because it creates strategy. It literally creates strategy. A lot of times you could combo that Mind Crush card, where they add a special card that they're going to need, or something like that, or you could use it as strategy to just look at their hand and say, like, okay, what do I have to be scared of, or what deck are they playing, or what can I snipe out of their hand, like what can I bait out, stuff like that, different little tactics like that, and that just adds a whole nother layer to competitive play. But with this new rule, it's literally just like, you're just like, okay, Karibo, yeah, I don't have that card in my hand. Whether they searched it or not, they searched it. It's a card they're going to have, like a general card they're going to, 9 times out of 10 have that card in their hand. If they say you don't have it in their hand, you can't call a judge to come look at it. You can't make a judge unless you have proof, like saying, like, yeah, he searched it, it's in their hand. There's so many stupid situations where, like, where you just don't know, and it's not fair. It's just dumb to me, and it angers me, because people will straight up cheat. I'm gonna make it a public statement right now. If I don't have the card in my hand, I'm going to prove it to my opponent every time. I don't care, if that screws me out of a win, unless I'm Unless I'm at Worlds, yeah, no, go fuck yourself. I'm not fucking revealing my hand if I'm at Worlds, and I'm at like I'm going for championship, like going for first place. Yeah, no, you can go fuck yourself. I will shark the fuck out of you. Anyways, other than that that's that one extreme situational card, or like extreme situation unless I'm in that situation, there we go, which will never happen. I'm just straight up saying now, I'm not that good of a player to make it to table 1 worlds for first place, for the champion of the world. That's never gonna happen. So that's why I can make that statement. But anyways, I will reveal my hand. I will always reveal my hand if I don't have that card, whether it screws me at a loss or not. I will reveal my hand. And it's because it's a dumb rule. It's inciting, unfair play, cheating, because it's here's a perfect scenario. You add that card to hand, right? You add a card from deck to hand. You use the card, so it's in the graveyard. Your opponent doesn't know you have another card, like another copy in your hand. Like say you hard drew it in your opening hand, and you use the one you searched. Therefore, you have proof to your opponents. Your opponent could be like, yeah, you searched it. I don't know if you have a second one or not. Well, I used the first one, so you can't prove that I have another one in hand. And it just invokes shitty play. And it invokes terrible asshole play. Oh man, it's so frustrating. It is extremely frustrating to me. Like, why? Like, it shows Konami, like, maybe on paper, it sounds like a good rule, and I'm pretty sure, if someone like wrote all the reasons why on paper, or like explained all the reasons why, I'm pretty sure, like, again, like I said, on paper, it probably makes an amazing rule, like, where it's like, yeah, but again, you're trusting in honesty, like, you're straight up going by honesty, and then you make a card like Mind Crush, a card that's stupid. Man, it makes me... Here's another situation. Here's a straight up another situation. You activate a card. It says add a card from deck to hand. You go through your deck, and then you're just like, yeah, I don't have that. I don't have the target. Whether you have a target or not, you don't have to prove it. And that's kind of like, just why Konami? Again, like, you're inciting cheating and bad playing and just assholes. The other rule, moving on, the other rule why is this a rule, is hygiene. I'm sorry. Hygiene should not be an official rule. It should be basic human, what's that card? What's the name of that word? If I'm drawing a blank, what the name of the word is. It should be a basic human function. Take a fucking shower. Wear fucking deodorant. There's a straight up rule in the Konami official rules that if you smell bad, you could get a game 1 loss or kicked out. And it's like, just take a fucking shower, man. Just take care of yourself. It's fucking frustrating. Oh man, like there's a few people that I've met that keep deodorant in their backpack for those situations. There's been a couple times where I just stored it in there just in case. Like, I knew it was going to be a big event. I knew it was going to be hot. I knew it's hot outside, like a summer event or something like that. And I was just like, I'm gonna put some deodorant just in case. I start to smell funky. Like, say some of my friends, they're just like, bro, you smell bad. I'm gonna be like, got you. So then I go to the bathroom, throw in some quick deodorant, boom, I'm good. And I'm not saying carry on Axe body spray and just be like, bro, you smell, and then you're just like, that doesn't do anything. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It doesn't do anything. Fucking shower. That's frustrating as shit to me. It blows my mind. That's a fucking rule. Oh, that's so dumb. There was another rule I was thinking about, and it's just kind of an annoying rule. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Like, it was on the tip of my tongue. Like, while I was talking about the, what the hell is it? when I was talking about the hand showing rule, and I couldn't, it was like, oh, I'm gonna talk about the rule. Yeah, I can't remember it. But yeah, that does it for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for the late for the audio listeners, because this episode, I'm just finishing recording this at 10:57. It's going to take about 30 minutes to render, and then probably 30 minutes to upload. So it's probably going to be late by, at most, an hour or two. And that's just, it just depends on whether or not my computer wants to be smart or not. I'm going to be getting a new computer soon. Just in general, just a new computer. I need a new computer. Not any time, say the next month or so I'll be getting a new computer. I'm just working on a couple things, in the back burner. I got some videos coming out, so check out youtube.com/OldSchoolDuelist12 if you're listening to this audibly. Yeah, I got some Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up. I got some other video game videos coming up. I just want to do some other video game. I want to do something else on the channel that's just more laid back and fun. Just a more laid back series on the channel itself. You can find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/OSDuelist12. I stream from there from time to time. It's either a really chill stream or I'm playing Pokemon Platinum, because I'm currently doing a Pokemon Platinum playthrough on there. I haven't streamed in a while. So the week of this video going up, I will stream at least one day this week, so hit that follow button, get the notifications on Twitch. It's pretty simple. Just go to twitch.tv/OSDuelist12. I also post a tweet on Twitter with the link to it all the time whenever I'm on Twitter. So you can follow me on Twitter at OSDuelist12 if you want to follow me on Twitter, and you can get an exact, you'll see then if you're on Twitter a lot, you can see that there too. So thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. I don't know what the hell you're watching on YouTube when it comes to podcasts, because I have a new thing that I just do on the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching and or listening to this week's episode of the Voidcast. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful, beautiful night, day, thing, or whatever.